Okay, so he has a 67-year reign, and he's a great builder, and he is referred to as the Great Ramesses, and sometimes he's just referred to as Ramesses, you know. They don't even put a number besides his name just to stress how important he is and how famous he is. Alright, so now we talk about a location called Ramesses. Ramesses has his mortuary temple in Thebes and in Upper Egypt, and established as a new capital in eastern Delta Pyramisi. Okay, now, okay, so I just checked. It is located in the royal necropolis in Thebes. So this is its location, and it's a mortuary temple of Ramesses II. Okay, now Battle of Kadesh. The Battle of Kadesh took place between the forces of the Egyptian Empire under Ramesses II and the Hittite Empire under Muwatalli II at the city of Kadesh on the Orontes River in what is now the Syrian Arabic Republic. The battle is generally dated to 1274 BC. It was probably the largest chariot battle ever. Um, Involving perhaps 5,000 to 6,000 chariots. So, see, every time you have some kind of a battle, some kind of, prolification of trade routes or extension of lands or something like that, that ruler obviously becomes very popular. So is the case with Ramesses too. So he's so well known. Probably one of the reasons is because he won the Battle of Kadesh, which was between Ramesses II and the Hittites. So I should probably highlight that. Ramesses II and Hittite, and he barely won the battle, but he wrote 13 versions of the victory. And he signed the first known bilateral treaty, Hittites called a truce. Now, Ramesses and Nubia. Egypt controlled Nubia down to Fifth Cataract. Ramesses built many temples in Nubia. Most famous are those at Abu Simbel. So obviously, the more famous the guy, more temples he builds, more wars he wins, more trade routes he opens with the other neighboring countries. So now Abu Simbel. Abu Simbel is a series of massive rock temples in Nubia. So make sure you get see, this was what we talked about before. The Ramessem was in Thebes. This is now in Nubia. It's in the southern Egypt on the western bank of Lake Nasser. So there's a little bit I found on Wikipedia on its construction, which might help us know about this in context of the things that we're learning. So construction of the temple complex started in approximately 1244 BC and lasted for about 20 years until 1224 BCE, known as the Temple of the Ramesses. So, oops, known as the Temple of Ramesses, beloved by Amun. It was one of six rock temples erected in Nubia during the long reign of Ramesses II. Their purpose was to impress Egypt's southern neighbors and also to reinforce the status of Egyptian religion in the region. Historians say that the design of Abu Simbel expresses a measure of ego and pride in Ramesses II. So Ramesses II, from that history, 13 versions of his of his winning, obviously tells us that he was a proud king. So these temples were made just to show off pretty much. There's another temple called the Amun-Ra temple in Karnak. Okay, so if we just keep a track of it, his mortuary is in Thebes. Mortuary, let me just put it here. So his mortuary temple is in Thebes, right? However, his Abu Simbel, pride and stuff, this is in Nubia. And then we talk about the Amun Ra temple. This is in Karnak. Okay. Now, when the army of the founder of the 18th dynasty expelled the Hyksos rulers from Egypt, the victor's city of origin, Thebes, became the most important city um, of a new dynasty. The local patron deity of Thebes, Amun, therefore became nationally important. The pharaohs of that new dynasty attributed all their successful enterprises to Amun, and they lavished much of their wealth and captured spoil on the construction of temples dedicated to Amun. The cultural